What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Therapist Logan Reacts. Today we are doing a song by Ren again. This is a part 3 series, I think. The part 3 just came out, but we're going to start on part 1, so I wanted to jump on it. This is Money Game by Ren. So let's get into it. I got the lyrics right up on the side as well.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, strife, fearing weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose who's fooling who. A ball chain to your shoes, I'm pain.
Alright, so first chunk. I think he just talks about some really neat concepts. Strange time we're living in. World can put fear in you. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. So yeah, greed runs through the parliament interior. So parliament, I think that's typically the UK's government, if I'm not mistaken. But very much so, greed running, like, being a very common theme kind of across the board with higher ups, the 1%ers, and just really kind of seeing like how it affects kind of the middle to lower class. It's really seen across the board as and very concerning, because a lot of the time people who live in poverty and just having to deal with certain things like a car breakdown could like really be detrimental to someone's like life. And just working with individuals who come from lower income backgrounds, it's hard to kind of keep a hope focused direction to run, because again, like, if there's only so much you can do when it comes to talk therapy when basic needs are not being met. Like, if you think of Erickson's hierarchy of needs, there I'll pull it up right now. So here, physiological needs: air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, and reproduction. Again, just when it comes to the idea of meeting your basic needs, it's really hard to progress in therapy and look toward like working on self-esteem, the loving, belonging, and the self-actualization, because the main things are not being met. So greed is really apparent, and when it's apparent, it's really hard to kind of work through that as a therapist, when again the individual's really working on just trying to survive. And being in that survival mode, it's really difficult to really kind of explore different topics, because you just want to meet them where they're at. So future therapists, like, recognizing if someone's in if someone's in this survival mode instinct and survival, it's trying to explore deep-seated roots of their identity. You're not going to really be able to progress through that because of that thing. So exploring resources and seeing if there's a connection with maybe a case manager or somewhat, or a social worker can kind of help, because they can provide those resources that might be able to help them kind of get a stability on that. If you're working with individuals who are struggling financially, and again, with that comes emotionally and psychologically. But let's jump back to the video.
It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed the game that lets this whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm, it comes our way, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop. president. It's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate. When the niggas believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets, they say badly through gritted teeth. That's my right to hate, that's freedom of speech. But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder like savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you denigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant, cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent, I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized.
So I think he's bringing up such a key component of just everything currently going on to like politically, especially in the United States, to just seeing these ICE raids and all these different kind of things, and recognizing that the president does have this this push, and there's certain agendas being pushed, and just recognizing just the idea of demonizing immigrants when, if you reflect, we're all descendants of immigrants in some capacity, and to really push this idea of people are illegal on stolen land is just like very much just it's not a very good way to kind of look about things. It's very demoralizing and inhumane. Just being able to see another person as lower just because they come from a different place. You know what I mean? Like, there's always that assumption, those biases that come along with that. And it's as a therapist, you should be reflective and always outspoken and utilizing your voice to bring up others. There should never really be that judgment. And if there's judgment, you should really check yourself as a therapist, because there is constant things happening, and just the fear that certain things and people have to go through that you may never have to worry about as their therapist. And just, again, recognizing that they're coming to you for a safe space, and being able to provide that for someone who's typically in a not safe space is really powerful. And I really just to be outspoken and fighting for others, I think that's just like a really big key component for therapists, especially just with everything that's going on politically. It's just important, again, to really focus on and explore multiculturalism as well. That's huge. That was really, really big in my my classes, and bringing it up and recognizing that there are some experiences that I won't, as a cisgender white male, that I'll never be able to understand, and really, again, just providing that space for individuals who may be from a different culture, different background, and recognizing I'll never get what it's like to be in that position, but recognizing like you're still a human, and like you still are wanting a safe space and wanting to feel like connection in some way, and I'm all the more willing to provide that. And even stating that, I've stated things like that out and during session with individuals, and it can be so powerful, like to recognize, like hearing somebody like, I'm not even going to pretend to know what it's like to be you in your situation, and you know what I mean? And just for it to hear that, I've seen individuals kind of relax and be aware, like recognize that, like, okay, like this therapist gets it, that they won't get it, kind of thing, if that makes sense. But it's definitely something that's helped me progress through some barriers with individuals, because you really don't know what it's like to be, and you never really will. So so just make sure as a therapist too, you're, again, just using your voice to lift up others as much as possible, especially marginalized groups.
Colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome, and also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat, the same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak. Our opinions aren't our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right, in the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 a storm it comes our way, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This old money game.
Wow. I don't know if that's a commemorate of the soldier that has recently done that in that was against the wars that are currently going on, or if that was in commemorate of the one monk a very long time ago who set themselves on fire. Again, just in political stance against what's currently going on. But I love that Ren is using his platform and to bring awareness and again just talk about the mistreatment and incorrect doing that comes along with greed and the individuals in power who utilize that greed and use it to again turn it against people who the everyday people, and it's just great that you see artists again pushing for others to recognize and keeping them informed of different topics and different themes to again just try to prepare people and make them more aware and again just self-reflective of what's going on and again just trying to be a voice for others. And I think that's just a beautiful sentiment, and I think you did it really well. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Does this guys touch you like in a way that like makes you feel emotional or reflective on like what's kind of going on maybe from the country you're in, or what's some thoughts that it brings up? I'm really curious to see what your guys' perspective on this for sure. So make sure you give this video a like as well, and please make sure you're subscribed. I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you next video.